Are you a senior and you're technically done filling out the Common App, but you just can't seem to press send? Well, in that case, this video is for you. These are going to be the 6 things you need to do before you submit your Common App to your dream colleges. My name is Kristina of Ivy Lounge Test Prep, and for 15 years, I have helped high schoolers all around the globe get into their dream schools by first drastically raising their SAT and ACT test scores, and then helping them write compelling college application essays. So let's get started. So here's a snapshot from your not too distant future, right? You finished your Common App. Awesome. You've written this amazing killer personal statement. It perfectly reflects who you are. You have this perfectly crafted activities list, and you've secured some really jaw-dropping letters of recommendation. But you still have to actually click submit, right? And I get it, your palms are getting sweaty. So I have seen this many a time with the private students that I work with for application essays. And some of them might come to me and they're like, well, I mean, I'm technically done, but like, I just can't send it in. Kristina, help. Okay. So I understand why this is a big stakes thing. You've been working so hard your whole life to get into college, and now it's like it's almost over. And the moment you click submit, it's like, it's out of my hands, right? How will you know when you're really done with your application? This is a question I get. And also, how will you know that you haven't skipped something crucial? So I invite you to borrow from my sanity saving strategy that I have built up over the last decade plus, right? Before you submit your Common App to your dream school, you're just going to follow this simple list of 6 things to do to double, triple check your application. And then afterwards, trust me, you will be able to hit submit with confidence. So the first thing you're going to do is view your entire application as a PDF. You're going to go to the section that says review and submit. And then don't worry, because believe me, the college isn't actually getting your application until you actually pull out the credit card and pay for it, right? So until you pay the application fee, like they're not going to get it, but you're going to press that button because you are going to see what your application looks like from a bird's eye view. So there will be a button, again, it says review and submit. I will show you in just a second. You're going to click on it and it will take you to a PDF version of your entire application that school will see. So let me show you. Okay, so obviously you will have filled out all the Common App things. And then when you go to the individual college that you're going to submit an application for, you got to make sure everything has a check mark, like you answered any of their questions. They might have some supplemental essays, recommendations, but you got to make sure that all of those are set and ready to go. The last thing is review and submit Common App. You click this, you will get this page. It might ask you like, oh, do you want to include your essay? Probably, yeah. If you've been working with me, you're going to have a killer essay. So you're going to say, yes, include my personal essay. And then you're going to click review and submit. So now that you've actually clicked that review and submit button, this is going to pop up, right? So this is the final review. Notice there are 3 steps. There's final review, the payment, and then your signature and submission. So you're not just reviewing here. You're not actually submitting something. Don't freak out. So I X'd out all these things so you don't see any information, but basically you will click this button, review PDF. Don't press continue because we're not there yet. You're going to review PDF. And finally, once we have press that review the PDF button, then your actual PDF will pop up. Okay, and then it's several pages long. I highly recommend that you print it out because often we see different things when we look at an actual piece of paper with, type on it than when we're staring at a screen. So go ahead, and I would actually save it to PDF on your computer, and I would also print it out if I were you. So that is step 1 of 6, which is to view your entire application as a PDF. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Kristina from Ivy Lounge Test Prep, and for the past 15 years, I've helped high schoolers all over the globe, just like you, get into their dream colleges by drastically raising their SAT and ACT test scores and help them craft compelling college application essays. So right now, I have a question for you before we continue, and that is, are you done with your Common App? And if so, have you submitted it or have you not? What's holding you back? Okay, so just answer me in the comments below. I would love to know. And then while you're at it, please just go ahead and like this video and also subscribe to my channel, because that way every week when I post the latest in SAT, ACT, and college application essay updates, you will be the first to know. Okay, now we're on to number 2, and that is, now that you've printed out a PDF of your application, or you're just looking at the PDF on your screen, but ideally it's printed, you're going to check it for accuracy. Yeah, I understand. You've seen this 1,000 times, but I literally want you to look at everything. Your name, your parents' names, siblings' names, addresses, phone numbers, what classes you took. Make sure everything is accurate, not misspelled. And also, another thing, make sure that your intended major for that particular university is accurate. Sometimes, a certain school doesn't have a certain major, so you put something different for that school and it's different for another school, right? So you just want to make sure that the intended major that you want for that school is also what you want it to be. So that is number 2, check for accuracy. Next is number 3, and this is called checking for formatting. And what do we even mean by that? Okay, so I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to like the writing and also the visual presentation of something. And when you see like your essays and your short answers and everything printed out, sometimes it doesn't look good and it can be jarring to the reader. Okay, so things that I want you to check for, okay? Did you indent all your paragraphs or not indent all your paragraphs? Doesn't matter so long as you're keeping it consistent, right? Did any words get cut off between lines in your essay? If so, go fix them. Are there any special characters that you have, and then when you copy and pasted your essay and you put it into the Common App, did it then become some weird like web ding? And you're like, what is that? Okay, so if there's any of that, you need to correct it. Do all your paragraphs have a single space between it, or is there somehow like a double or a triple space between it? I've seen that happen again when people copy and paste the essay into the Common App. Sometimes there's no space at all. Might want to fix that. Whatever you do, make sure it's consistent. And also another thing that I've noticed sometimes is there a space between your essay prompt and the beginning of your essay? I personally like there to be a space between the prompt and the essay because it's easier to see. It's easier to digest for the reader. So those are the formatting things I want you to look at and just make sure everything's correct, make sure it looks nice, make sure it's consistent. So that's number 3, check your formatting. We're on to number 4, and that is to check for continuity. So this is the part that is going to require the most effort because we're not just looking at like, spelling and typos. We're actually looking for like the meaning of your whole application. But it's the most important step. So once all the details are in order, once the formatting's in order, and none of this is going to distract you, then you're going to read the entire PDF from top to bottom in one go, uninterrupted, right? So does the activities list make sense? Would someone get an accurate picture of who you are from that and the way you've ordered and worded everything? Right? Does your main Common App essay fit in with what we gathered from your activities list? There should definitely be a common theme. I personally call that an organizing principle. I'll include a link to that video that comes through so that people understand like who you are, right? So is one popping out at you as you reread? So that is number 4, is check for continuity. Okay, number 5 is fill in any gaps. So If this particular college has asked for supplemental essays or supplemental questions, keep reading through also to those, right? Do those additional essays effectively show other parts of your personality that we didn't already get from your main Common App and from your activities? Or do they repeat things we already know? Okay, so if they repeat content, you might want to rework or rewrite some of those supplemental questions or essays to portray you from different angles. And while still obviously connecting the dots that we made to the big picture of who you are from your activities list and from your personal statement. Okay, so numbers 4 and 5 were a lot. So now, number 6, okay? Final one is if you made any major edits to this final revisit, then I need you to read the entire PDF a second time. Okay, so if you've done anything meaningful to change your application, you're redoing this whole list that I just told you, right? I know rereading isn't the most fun thing in the world, but you do not want to gamble, right? And roll the dice when it comes to something as high stakes as your college applications. So guess what? After you've done these 6 steps, you are officially ready to go. You are ready to hit submit. Now, a quick note is make sure that for each new college, you do the same process. Little things might change. Your intended major might change. The role, your supplemental questions and essays might change. So make sure to follow these steps 1 through 6 for each college application that you do before you hit submit, and you will not be sorry. So good luck to you. I am rooting for you. I hope you hear really good news. And if you do need help with any of this, then I will show you how to contact me in the link below my website, because I can help you with college application essays. Best of luck. Let me know how it goes.